We go to the New Ireland province this time. The story is on former Prime Minister and now Governor of that province, Sir Julius Chan. He, like the Grand Chief, Sir Michael Somare, spent some 38 years in politics, short of one term. The difference is Sir Julius never dreamed of pursuing a career in politics, let alone become Prime Minister twice. Mickey Cavera on his book, Playing the Game.
Papua New Guinea's founding fathers, Sir Julius Chan. It chronicles the life of Sir Julius Chan on Tanga Island, where he was born in 1939 to Mother Miriam Tincoring, a New Ireland native, and Father Chin Park, a Chinese migrant. And what better way to do his final launch at the highest peak of democracy, the Parliament House. The launch was witnessed by his family's friends and members of the diplomatic corps. Politics had never crossed his mind, but fate had other plans for him. He said it was Ray Lacey, a former Australian coast watcher, that persuaded him to take up politics. His first election victory was in 1968 for the seat of Namatanai. Little did he know that this was the beginning of a 50-year career in politics.
One of constant learning. From the earliest days in the House of Assembly to my times as Prime Minister and now as Governor, I have learned that just as in business, in politics, there are some basic rules to success.
The values of hard work, honesty and dedication which he learned during his upbringing and his early years in the public service shaped his perspective on life. These same values are influential in his political career. He described his years in politics as one of constant learning and playing by the rules of the game.
When it comes to playing the games of politics, the entire goal, the entire purpose of the game is only one thing: the well-being, the health, security and prosperity of the people of our country.
There were many achievements, but the one that stood out was the liberation of Vanuatu, a decision no other Prime Minister has ever taken to plunge PNG into war. First PNGDF Commander Brigadier General Ted Diro says there was no other event in the history of PNG that is more important than the Vanuatu episode.
I wonder if there was another Prime Minister, would the Defence Force achieve the same result? The answer is probably no. The most leaders I've come across in Papua New Guinea procrastinate, they confuse themselves with minor issues and problems, and they would not make bold decisions. Sir Julius Chan is still the best Prime Minister we've ever had in my time.
But there were also challenges at home, like the Bougainville crisis. But in all that, Sir Julius Chan never lose sight of the rules of the game. His life in politics is a lesson for current and aspiring politicians. As rightly put by the opposition leader Don Pollier, the memoirs of Sir Julius is a guidebook for leaders to follow and run the country.
Playing the game differs from other political biographies and autobiographies of Papua New Guinea. Other biographies praise and critically doesn't describe and celebrate their lives and those around them as if they were saints or Papua New Guinean big men.
Like father, like son, Byron Chan, who followed in his father's footsteps to enter politics, is overwhelmed by the contributions his father has done to the country.
And as a former Prime Minister, I'm one of the only two that remaining in Parliament. So, and it's had its time from a 3 million budget to now a 16 billion budget. So times have changed dramatically, and from a 3 million population to now a 7 million, maybe a 9 million population. So times have changed, politics have changed, and it's been quite a turbulent life with many challenges. But those challenges, as a little kid during the war, he grew up facing them already. He's a half caste, and then in Australia during those times, and as a kid up here, all those experiences of apartheid was also experienced here in PNG. So those challenges have been met all along the way, the 40 years of his career.
It was never said Julius Chen's intention to write a book. It was Lucy Palmer's persistence that got him to see the importance there is to document his life in these pages. Lucy speaks of the process and reason behind the name of the book, Playing the Game.
The book has probably lasted just a bit over the last 2 years because, as you know, Sir Julius is the Governor of New Ireland. He's a very, very busy man. So it took a while to get all the interviews done, and I think in the end there was probably 30 hours of interviews that I recorded with him. And of course just working on each chapter, just step by step by step. Playing the Game was his idea. I had another suggestion, but I think he liked the idea of having a title which was something to do with his rugby. That he saw. So well, and it's a metaphor really for how do you play the game, whatever the game is. And
she learned some startling facts while editing the book, like the issue of racism among others, and also about Sir Julius Chen as a prisoner of war during the Second World War to a respectable leader.
Mickey Cavera ending this edition of PNG Tonight, a current affairs program of NBC Television. Thank you for watching. I'm John Higgins. Good night.